Fitr to our viewers watching from all over the world. This is Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwebike. We start off today, of course, the holidays with interesting stories coming from our newspaper headlines, and right after that, in a jiffy, would be our main conversation also for today. But please do well to be part of what we do. Have a say in what we say. You can always find and reach us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at enterprise.tv7. We're very so honored to have with us today, joining us via Zoom, Emeka Madu Nagu, journalist, public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Emeka, and happy holidays to you.
Yeah, happy Eid Mubarak to you and to Enterprise TV and the viewer.
Yes, thank you so very much for your time. Now let's, of course, start off today with stories coming from the Vanguard newspaper today. Idil Fatir, Tinubu, Atiku Obi, governors can preach peace and unity plus tolerance, of course. And also on the bottom strip here, Nigerians to pay more for petrol amid domestic dispute, crude price hike. And let's go straight to our talking point for today. Uromi killings. CDS can PVN seek justice for victims. As Sanusi warns Kano youths against reprisal, Kano sends delegations to engage Edo government or able to suspend security chiefs and litany of other stories from that big one. Emeka Manduna, I would love to ask you. It's quite interesting how the CDS, Christopher Musa, is very proactive on this particular matter. It's written that he has sent his squad to ensure that those who were involved in the killing are, of course, taken to custody. But one would speak, why is it equally very difficult for the CDS to take such proactive measures, even when his own military gallant officers are involved in heinous crimes as victims, like it was done in Edo State, which of course we truly do condemn?
Well, that is part of the unfortunate circumstances we found ourselves in Nigeria. We find out a situation where our leaders pretend, not to know that the absence of natural justice fuels jungle justice. It's as simple as ABC. Of course, General Chris Musa, yes, the chief of defense staff, with due respect to him, yes, I expect him to react in situations like this. But I think sometimes he overreacts in the way he makes statements. That was how during the bad governance protest last year, he was already saying it was treason. And this man is not a lawyer, but he was already making pronouncements as if, he was the one who would, prosecute. He will lead the prosecution team and all of that. And that's part of the sad situation. What is the business of the chief of defense staff with a situation like this? This is a situation that has to do with the police. It's the job of the police. And so, like I said at that time, during the bad governance protest, I'll say it again, that the chief of defense staff was just overreacting. He should have allowed the Inspector General of Police or even the Commissioner of Police to speak. On February 5, this year, February 2, 20 farmers were killed in Plateau State and dumped into a river. There was not one word from the Chief of Defense Staff. Different things. Tragic situations have happened. People have been killed, even in that Ishan area. Some years ago, a friend of mine was kidnapped. We had to rally around money to pay ransom. And he said it was Fulani herdsmen. Why are we behaving so hypocritically in this country? That is why there's no justice. And that's why you see that people resort to jungle justice, when situations present themselves like this. And it is abhorrent. It is condemnable. They should allow the police to do their job. Already the SSS, I understand they've arrested the head of the Vigilante Corps. Why? What's the business of the SSS in this? The SSS has been silent. They've been quiet. They've been asleep. All the while that killings have been taking place in Edo State, The people have been complaining, different communities, complaining about how Fulani herdsmen have made life unbearable for them. They've been complaining, but yet we didn't hear anything from the SSS. This is the job of the police. And the Commissioner of Police has swung into action. Commissioner of Police, has already sent policemen. They're already investigating the matter. Why is the SSS taking the vigilante chief? Is it the SSS that will prosecute? If there's any for prosecute, when it comes to prosecution, is it the SSS that will prosecute? I think all of this is just overzealousness. In just trying to please President Bola Tinubu, just to show we are working. That's the overzealousness, and lack of proactivity. There's no proactive action. You just find people, wanting to show that they are working. Anytime somebody criticizes President Tinubu, you see the EFCC, suddenly EFCC will wake up. These people have no agenda. They're just idle. That's why you see people taking the laws into their hands. People taking the laws into their hands. You even find that in these communities, even some of their people are even complaining of being targeted by their kinsmen. I'm talking about the Fulani herdsmen. You see there are Fulani among them also complaining. Go to Ondo State, people are running away from their communities because of the problem of Fulani herdsmen. Go to Edo State. Is it in Ebonyi State? Is it in Enugu State? Ehamufu town. People have fled because of the menace of Fulani herdsmen. When will this Fulani herdsmen menace end? That's one thing I'm talking about. Then you had this tragic situation in Uromi, in Edo State. Now, you can see northern elders, northern governors reacting. But all the killings that have been taking place here and there, being done by Fulani herdsmen, they have gone silent. That is why I said, in the absence of natural justice, in the absence of rule of law, jungle justice takes place. That is the kind of thing we see. We saw people with weapons. We should know the country is tense right now. The situation is tense. So, people have to be careful the kind of things they move about with. If I'm driving a car now, and the police, and I come across the police, and they see a gun in my car, they are not going to take it lightly. Yeah. They will not just say, okay, all right, have a nice day, you can go. They will take it very, very seriously. We know how serious the problem of kidnapping is right now. So any little thing, people, any little thing brings apprehension. For people to have been traveling with weapons, you say it was Dengons. Dengons can kill animals. The same thing, they can kill human beings. They can be used to kill human beings. So that kind of a thing, did they get police authorization to move about with Dengons? Did they get police clearance? Or can you just move about with guns anyhow? The answer is no. So we must tell ourselves the truth in this country. We are allowing things to degenerate, and we are pretending, like former President Goodluck Jonathan said, that it's difficult to wake up somebody who is pretending to be asleep. Somebody who is asleep, you can wake the person up, but somebody who is pretending to be asleep, it's difficult to wake up. And that's what we are doing to ourselves. We are pretending that all is well. We are pretending that we can sweep matters under the carpet. Look at Deborah, that student of that school in Sokoto State,
that was
who was who was lynched. Where are her killers? The state government withdrew the charges against suspected killers. What has happened? Or is it Bridget Agbayime who told somebody, said, don't do your ablution in front of my shop? She was captured, she was beheaded, her head was hoisted on a stick and paraded around. Are we talking of Gideon Akaluka? Are we talking of the teacher in Gombe State who corrected her pupil? And the next thing, she was lynched. So many cases. Listen, let us just say one thing clearly. We all desire one Nigeria where all of us are treated as equals. You see, all this selective outrage is going to fuel more anger. You can see how the people are reacting. Governor Okpebholo has heard. Governor Monday Okpebholo was there. When when they recorded videos and uploaded online, complaining about the menace of Fulani herdsmen. What did he do? He did nothing. Now he's going about begging northern governors. Let me tell you one thing. We can pretend to be asleep, but by the time we will realize what we are doing to ourselves, I hope there will still be enough time to save the polity. Because all this rank hypocrisy is annoying. It is annoying. There must be justice for everybody. We must have a country where all rights matter, all lives matter. We cannot continue to pretend that all is not well with this country.
Very, very
all
true.
is not well with this country. We have not learned lessons from the civil war. We've not learned any lessons, and it's very sad.
Very,
You
very
can
sad,
see what some people are doing on social media. This is what some people are posting on social media, inciting comments, and the security agencies are doing nothing about it. When another tragedy occurs, you see them jumping about, looking for how to please the president. Is it the president that will tell security agencies what to do? Go after is that, so why were they appointed? Their roles are constitutional. It's stated there what their roles are. Why would they wait for the president to say, go after the killers, go after this, go after that? An army base was attacked last week. 16 soldiers were said to have been killed. No outrage. But when it happens in the south, you see outrage. You will see outrage. Why are we doing ourselves like this?
Very, very true, Becca.
Why are we doing ourselves?
And this actually, reminds me of the Deborah case you just made mention now. I remember when it did happen, Atiku Abubakar condemned it, but when the northern youths, came for him, he withdrew, what he had said. And one would wonder why the same person also would come for this particular case and would not equally withdraw it. And that is what you did talk about when the selective, justice is being made on Nigerians. But let's take a look at other issues here. 2027, Wike's good works will give APC victory in FCT. And that's coming from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Emeka, what do you say about this? Do you think the good works of Yesem Wike would give APC victory, or is he trying to stamp the fact that they know what they do and they might do it better than every other person? Because if you take a look at the much Yesem Wike has done, it's actually not different from what other FCT ministers have done. Up until today, there's no central water system in Abuja. There's no central sewage system in Abuja. There's no central gas system in Abuja. So what exactly is it that Yesem Wike is doing that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is saying might give them victory in 2027?
Well, what do you expect? It's rigging. Now it's rigging. It's rigging. That's all. I don't know if you saw you said you were who is causing problems in River State is now banking on giving. Why? Because P2B cleared Abuja, during the 2023 elections. So they are now expecting that, you see, when people are constantly, in fear, in dread of their own shadows, when they know in their heart that their interest is not about good governance, that's why you see them, doing, saying all kinds of things, as if they are God, as if they know, how as if they control tomorrow. But well, I'll just let them know that they're just living in a mirage. If they like, let them have prepared figures before the 2027 elections. Well, they'll be surprised at how things will turn out.
So very, very true. Now let's take a look at the Punch newspaper also and see what we have there. World Bank to approve Nigeria's $632 million loan request today. Emeka, is this not so much loan for us? Another $632 million loan from the World Bank. Is this sort of a bait coming from the World Bank just to get us all entangled in financial situation that generations to come we might not be able to take care of, and possibly our children, our grandchildren become slaves to the West continuously?
Well, the interesting thing is that this administration, Bola Tinubu administration, has committed itself to taking debts recklessly. And so is the government being piloted by the World Bank and the IMF. What loan are they taking for education? What loan are they taking for education? We have a deficit, in the teacher ratio. We have a deficit in teacher ratio. we have, we have a lot of things that are not in place in the educational sector. But this is not this is not about this is not basically about money. This is not basically about money. But we need to face facts. We need to be honest with ourselves that you see, taking all these loans, how are we going to repay all these loans? How will all these loans be repaid? We're not even considering the fact that we are leaving bodies for generations unborn. That was why they had to devalue the naira. They said they floated the naira. They really devalued the naira so that they could accommodate enough loans, so that they could raise the debt to GDP ratio. And that's the sad situation we see. They're just taking loans. These guys have no idea about how to raise funds, how to finance projects beyond just borrowing. And that tells you they have no program. They have no program. They have nothing in place for the Nigerian people. They have nothing. They have no plan for the Nigerian people, and it's sad. Very, very sad.
So do you question the leadership dexterity of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, knowing that he is, of course, has been made to feel that he made Lagos what it is, which is part of the campaign up until today. They have said he had made Lagos the envy of other states in Nigeria, obviously not other West African countries. So do you question the leadership dexterity of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Let me tell you something. Nigeria is a big nation. Nigeria is a great nation. And what we need in this nation is just to be able to galvanize the population of Nigeria in order to achieve, our goals. And what are the goals? You can see that this government doesn't have any goals. How many things? Look at how many things they have had to, roll back on. How many things they said they would do, and they had to look back. They had to, cancel them. They had to walk back, on their talk. So what it tells you is that it's not about any dexterity. It is a simple thing that they said they removed subsidy. So where are the subsidy funds? If you remove the subsidy fund, you said the funds would be channeled to social security, to education, to health, and all of that, to social programs. But why still borrowing? You say you are distributing money to vulnerable households. Well, it's borrowed money. You're still borrowing money. Everything you are doing, you are borrowing money. Where is the $20 billion that you say you saved from removal of subsidy? Where is it? You're still borrowing money. So what it tells you is that these people are just, they are not serious about giving Nigerians, good governance. And it is unfortunate that this is the kind of governance we've seen. After the disastrous 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari, we are now into another, season of bad governance and rudderless, politics. I think, it's sad that Nigerians are facing this kind of thing. It's really sad.
Really sad, Emeka, because one would have thought that of all persons, Bola Ahmed Tinubu would have been one individual to galvanize the change Nigerians truly do need. But of course, he is even, becoming less of what Nigerians would have expected. Lots of Nigerians are even hoping for Muhammad Buhari-led administration better than what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing. In the last 2 years, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done more harm, lots of Nigerians would conclude, than what Muhammad Buhari has done in 8 years. And it's so very unfortunate. And speaking about...
No, what did he do in Lagos? They were just saying what did he do in Lagos?
Very, very true, Rebecca. But I would love you to speak to this other issue. Obasa pursues suit against Miranda lawmakers despite Tinubu's intervention. Are we about to see another crack in the wall, or an enlarged crack in the wall with Lagos State APC politics? Because at the time one would think that everything had fizzled away, There we have Obasa yet again, a very great ally of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, still fighting strong against the lawmakers. So, do we have a crack still in the Lagos State House of Assembly? If there is, how large is this crack, Emeka?
Of course, despite President Bola Tinubu's intervention, they've been managing a piece of the graveyard. There's really no peace in sight in the Lagos House of Assembly. They're only pretending because if you remember, there were allegations of corruption against the speaker, and so he's pushing that suit in order to see if the court can actually lift such a specter from him, and declare that his impeachment was wrong and all of that, so that in case, because he has a rumored governorship ambition. Mm-hmm. So in case he decides to still pursue his governorship ambition, so that there will be there will not be any
impediment,
encumbrance, for him. But what it also shows is that the said empire of President Bola Tinubu is crumbling. And of course, no empire lasts forever. When they say, that he groomed men, he did that, it does also tell you it's all, falsehood. It's just a lie. There's nothing like that. He just had people who are available to be used for different purposes. And then right now, so that was what he pretended to, be pushing as, his, what he felt that, what he tried to show that, he had a large political family, of loyal followers. Yeah. But you can see that it is not that way. They are still fighting. Like this intervention, they are still fighting. It's the politics of friends of personal interest. So all of them are fighting for their, all of them are fighting to protect their, their pockets. When the former governor Rotimi Akeredolu was ailing, it's all about personal interest. And that's why you see them going to court. So just in case, just in case, whether the court will give him, a breather that he can use to challenge any possibility of maybe impeachment again, because it's still possible he could be impeached.
Very, very, very true, Emeka. All right, so that's just about the time we have for this particular segment. And just to let you know that Emeka will be here to take us on our main conversation when we return. Rivers crisis, PDP accuses sole administrator Abbas of dismantling Fubara's legacy. That in a bit still Enterprise morning right here on Enterprise Television, the weekend of Eid al-Fitr. Please don't go anywhere.